just been notified about a little monkey that's come from the top of the country and then moved halfway down to the middle, and now we've managed to organise for people to bring him back up again, and of course we're racing on our way to go and fetch him and get him back to the foundation as quickly as possible.
Stian, nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Sky.
Stian.
Pleased to meet you.
Hey? The little guy.
This is a little one.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Joe,
Hello, Joe.
our baby.
So, do you know what actually happened at all?
It seems like he fell from the roof on one of the farms and the guy brought him to us. So we've been taking care of him since.
Joe.
He loves this blanket.
I bet. Like his little pants. Just make. Who made these? You?
No, I bought it online.
Let's say. And have you two been looking after him?
See you.
Hmm? Yes. We're gonna miss him. Okay, guys. Thanks. We're just going to walk into the pump. So
Not a problem.
Please send me photos.
we will do.
Thank you so much.
I don't know why.
So this is the little boy that we've just got now. Just checked him a little bit. He seems to have a bit of dry skin, or I'm not sure exactly what it is. It looks like dry skin. Also over here, there's a little bit of scabs over here, and he does seem quite itchy. It's a little boy here that we actually have. So you can see him scratching. So he's, and also here on his tail, he looks like he's got a bit of a bulb there. So we're not sure exactly what that is. So, yeah. So we're just going to clean him up now and then drive off. Take him back to the foundation. Hey boy. Hey boy. Yeah. Let's get you cleaned up. Okay, so we're here at Rocio's cage. Here she is. And today's the day where she gets to meet Jamba and Nita. So how's it been going, Jamie?
It's been going well. So we've had Nita, she's sitting on the door now. So she's come in with Rocio a couple times. Last night she spent the night there. So she's been doing really well. They groom quite a lot. Basically no aggression. Even though Rocio can be a little bit annoying, like she likes to slap the heads of
Yeah.
her.
And these three are all expats, so they're all slightly odd.
Yeah, all a bit funny.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna open up and
Yeah, alright, we'll just do last checks then go for it.
oh.
Well, introducing older monkeys, especially like these, could we say grannies, it's very, very interesting because you still got your whole hierarchy that they're used to, and now one's got to actually work out who's going to be the dominant female within the group. So now it's a kind of playoff between each other. Grooming is a very big item. So normally the one being groomed the most is sort of the one with the higher ranking. So you see the two of them playing it out here with each other, not quite sure what to do or who's who at the moment. Rocio seems to be initiating most of the contact at first. She does look a lot more grumpy, but I think she's less dominant in the end of the day. And Nita, of course, has got a boyfriend, so she might get some more support. Whether Rocio knows that, I'm not too sure. But it's very interesting just to see how they're playing off from each other, how they make contact, and of course who's going to groom who is the biggest factor. So that's what we really looking at here. You can see how they're looking at each other, making eye contact and kind of pulling little faces. Not getting too close at the moment, but testing each other's let's say safety zone and see what's actually going on. So still pretty much staying out of each other's personal space. And there we're getting a little bit of contact. Looks like Nita's sort of giving Rocio a little bit of a smack. You can see Rocio there, she's presenting. So that little presentation was like asking Nita to actually groom her and saying, hey, groom me. So that's what she's actually doing now. She has succeeded. So there you see Nita giving a little bit of groom, but not much. So she hasn't overdone it. She's kind of like, I've acknowledged your request, but I'm not the one that should be grooming you. So that's what it seems like at the moment, and she's sort of moved out of the picture. So still very, very interesting what's going on. Still keeping out of each other's personal space. Contact is kind of minimal. I don't know if Nita was looking for support from Jamba there, or just seeing that how he's doing, because they have been together for quite a while. And of course here's Rocio. Also again you can see the stance is like a very dominant kind of stance, but she's not getting away with it. It's all presenting herself for grooming, but it's not actually happening. So she is trying her best. She's trying to be the one that's more forward, always presenting as much as you can. You can see that going on there, but not succeeding at all. Okay, so Rocio is trying a different technique. She's gone in to groom Nita now and see how things are going. A little slap there, hey, it's your turn. What about me? But hasn't been reciprocated there. And there again, she's doing the grooming. So yeah, just a little bit of funny tactics to watch every now and again, how these two sort of break the ice between each other and find out who's going to kind of be the lead female inside this enclosure. So it looks like with Nita holding back there, she's actually won sort of the whole strategy, and she's being groomed now, and that's Rocio sort of giving her the one over. So we'll see how long that's going to go on, if it's going to be reciprocated or not, or if Rocio is going to ask for a lot more grooms, or should I say if Nita is going to ask for a lot more grooms before she actually grooms Rocio. So these are all little things that you've got to watch, just how they walk, their stance, what they're doing, to see what's going to happen in the end.
Oh, Jamba was feeling a little bit lonely and came to the door, and Anita's grooming him. Maybe Rocio will join.
You can see Rocio is keeping her distance. She hasn't really gone any closer or tried to make any contact or get any closer than this. She's keeping on the fringes. So it will be interesting to see when Jamba comes in what the reaction's going to be. A little bit of a standoff there with Rocio, staring Nita out, giving her a little smack on the head and say, what do you think you were doing? You didn't invite me over to see your boyfriend. So she's not really happy with her at the moment. You can just see they're a little bit offish there with each other. Rocio is got that little dominant stance. And there it looks like she's actually got Nita to start grooming her. So either this is Nita saying, sorry, I'll invite you over next time and introduce you. So she's just doing her little bit to calm things down. Also not very, very long. She's concentrated more on herself there. You can see Rocio saying, hey, what's going on? We've got to do a lot more grooming than that. That certainly wasn't sufficient. Has a look at her, says, hey, come on now. But yeah, it seems like that's all she's going to get for the meantime. So although it looks like nothing's really going on, there's always little funny things that these animals are doing that are showing you their different reactions and what their hierarchy is basically going on. So Rocio again grooming Nita. So it looks like Nita is in the pound seats as far as we can tell at the moment, and seems like she's slightly higher than what Rocio is. Rocio's just come over to say, who the hell are you staring at? But yeah, very, very interesting interactions at the moment, and we'll see what happens when Jamba comes in, what's actually going to happen there.
And Jamba.
So have a look at the reaction of the two females. Rocio a little bit stiff up in the corner, and you've got Nita not really worrying.
So this is Jamba. So we introduced Nita to Rocio first, so that they form a little bond. So hopefully they'll team up if there is any aggression from Jamba. But he is quite a chill guy.
While Jamba's playing it like the very cool male, as if he's not noticing the extra female in the cage, Rocio hasn't really gone up to make any kind of reaction. She sort of kept her distance, but it's not really for her to make the initial contact. She'll either accept it or not, whether he comes close to her. Either they'll be screaming, or she'll accept his offer to groom him, and then things should work out nicely from there. But at the moment, everybody's sort of a little bit tense. Doesn't seem like fighting tense. They all seem like they're going to get on quite nicely so far. So very good interactions between everybody. Nothing terrible, and we'll just have to see how things go between them over the next couple of days or weeks to see how they get on.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, number 7.
Yeah.
Little boy.
Yeah, he's been travelling a bit, apparently all the way from Lububu down to a place called Marble Hall.
Alright.
And then we got to meet him in Polokwane.
So he's done a bit of a tour.
Yeah, he seems kind of settled. He is drinking his milk.
Okay, what's
he was
the
fed on weird milk.
weird milk? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the story?
They can't really tell me. They said they think he fell off the roof.
Fell off a roof? Okay.
I'm not
Alright.
too sure.
But that's it. That's all we know.
So it's about. He does seem kind of itchy. There's a little lump on his tail.
Okay.
They might need to have a looking at. It does also seem to be scratching a little bit, and then I don't know what the lump is. It looks like there's a little scab there. I don't know if it broke or something at some point.
Looks a little thin. Okay.
Alright.
Alright, cheers. No problem. Thank you.
Each year the little ones seem to behave slightly different to the others. This year it seems like everybody likes sucking on their own little hand, which is great. Last year they seemed to like getting hold of everyone's ears, so hands are probably better. But yeah, they all seem to have this little bit of trauma that affects them in different ways, and at the moment it's hand sucking that seems to be the big thing.
Well, little one. Okay. I'll get the scales and we can give them away and check them out.
This is good.
So our new little arrival seems to know how to drink quite well. And he's straight on to the pet egg.
What's it? No, no more.
No, prefers the fingers.
Oh.
You're a fidgety one.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You want to try again?
Oh wow.
It's a bit fast though. Yeah.
Just slow down a bit, my boy.
Yeah. A bit fast on this one.
Yeah, that's too big.
Yeah, he was just like trimming it.
You can even just tilt it very gradually, just almost flat, just to sort of limit the amount that can go in.
Oh,
Huh?
might be tired.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a long day for this little one. At least he's drinking some milk, which is great. Does seem like he drank a little bit too fast, so he's got the hiccups. But as you can see with the little hand story, he's also sucking his little hand. So a little bit of exploring around. You can see this itchiness that we're actually talking about. A lot of this stuff also happens because of the nappy that they're not used to having, and they kind of get like a little bit of nappy rash from it as well, with all of that sticking to them the whole time. So not good to have these little guys in nappies at all. They were never meant to wear them. So it is just nice to get it off, and hopefully the itchy will go
hello
away.
Gael. What are you doing?
Hi, Teft has just arrived today, and we're gonna give him a little bath
Okay.
and give him a little shampoo, germicidal shampoo. He came a bit itchy. Apparently, also he was wearing a nappy, which can really get them scratching and a little bit itchy all over the skin and the bum area. He's about 2.5 weeks old.
Yeah.
Hi, Baba.
He's enjoying that.
Yeah, they usually like it.
Warm water, hey? Yeah, with that nappy it was quite dirty. Luckily I removed most of it when we cleaned him as we got him.
Well, yeah, his bum is quite swollen and red.
Yeah.
So you can tell that he was kept in a nappy.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks very much for that. And I believe you've got a night shift tonight as well, eh?
Yes.
Okay, well, good luck with that. I'm sure you'll be fine. Let's hope so anyways.
Yeah.
Alright. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Well, obviously our little one's feeling a heck of a lot better. Just the freedom of not being tied up and hindered with the nappy makes a very big difference in their life. You can still see he's kind of itchy around his tail area. They do get kind of nappy rash or burn very, very easily from wearing a nappy, because you must remember primates were never meant to wear something like this, and it just means people don't clean them as often as what they should be. So it's easier actually to clean up their little mess after they've made it.
What happened?
And at least if without the nappy and they make a little mess, if their stomach's working properly, it's very easy to clean up. It's not as bad as what everybody thinks. And at least you can see that the monkey's healthy. If there's any problems, whereas a nappy, you just have the slimy mess all over their fur all the time. So like all little monkeys, investigating, running around and trying to find out what's in the environment is very, very important. He's still a little bit itchy, but I don't really think this is from anything at the moment, because he's had a nice bath. Sometimes it just could be from the skin's a little bit dry, depending on what he's eating and being fed, and if he was washed with human shampoos and things like that. This little guy has got a little bit of mango worm in his tail, which we'll also have to sort out, and that's also sometimes caused from the nappies if it's like damp, and the mango worm lays its egg there, and of course that hatches into the little animal, and this has happened on his tail, so we'll have to get rid of that for him, and I'm sure he'll feel a lot better after that happens.
Move Cuddy and Floki to their new enclosure now, so that's super exciting. So this is their last day at Disneyland. So Hannah's just going to go in and get Cuddy now. If we get Floki first, then Cuddy will get very upset. So that's what we're going to do.
So our master Cuddy trapper, Hannah, has already got Cuddy. In she goes. That's the hard part.
I know. Where's your face?
So we're at James, the James trip, and this is where we've built their new special enclosure, because they're going to have to stay by themselves. They can't rejoin the other group for social reasons, so we've managed to put up this massive enclosure for them. Lots of space. This big area is not quite ready yet, so initially they're just going to be in here until we finish off the others, but we have to move them over because we need Disneyland for the babies who've been waiting very patiently. Yeah, you can go ahead and let them out. Oh, it's on the other side. Yeah, it should just open.
Just open here.
Yeah. Come on, Flock, out. All those new fans of the trip. Of course, they're all familiar with him because he's just been on the other side of James in Disneyland. So they all know who he is. Okay, that's one in. So we go back and get Cuddy now.
Gorilla Mama Gorilla is in Korea.
Okay. Hey. Aw. Nice welcome party.
So of course Cuddy's got to get used to this whole new environment, because you do remember she can't see so well, so she's got to feel her way around and find out where everything is, and that's why she's doing more of a funny walk. It's more hitting her hands down on the ground just to feel where she is, make sure she's not going to bump anything. And of course there's nothing like an argument with your next door neighbours. even though you really can't see them. This is also one of the reasons you can see we got the finer mesh wire on there, so nobody actually gets hurt, because it wouldn't be fair for Cuddy and Floki if they actually get bitten by the actual troop, especially because they don't have the best manners, as you can see. I mean, it's really Cuddy starting the trouble, not the troop. And you can see how she's having a go at them. So one of the reasons we've got to protect them and make sure they're okay, because they don't really understand monkey behavior very well at all.
Like this troop seems really vocal.
That noise I made now, it's more aggressive. She is a little funny.
Could they actually call up people getting stuff together in a minute?
Well, not too sure if anyone can tell the difference between these two, but here we got Josephine and Abu just finding their little feet and their way around. So, of course, sometimes it's just nice to sit and watch them and just see how they get, what they get up to, and just see their progress and their development, because they actually develop very, very quickly over the next couple of days. You know, when you get them and they come in, they can almost do nothing. They're sleeping most of the time, to wanting to run around and jump and try and climb and interacting and pulling little faces. It's really something.
I can the teddy bears here and try to do something.
It's okay. You just.
But I'm not in the middle.
No.
A lot of times we get people either complaining or mentioning something about playing music in the background with these little guys, and they want to hear the natural noises. But as you can see from these two, when they're playing, they don't make a noise at all. It's very seldom that monkeys actually make or call out or anything like this. It's only when they realize they're missing their mom or something, or calling a troop member or a warning or something. But at this young age, unless they're in stress or something, or as I say, looking for a mom, they're not going to make any noise at all. So they'll just carry on playing in the silence like this, jumping up and down, pulling little faces and trying to attack the camera without making a sound at all. Well, we have little Josephine being fed, and who knows what little Abu is doing, just being cute, that's all.
Go with your sister. You shouldn't say this much, but Josephine.
Our little climbing tree that we've made, of course, just to get them a little bit more dexterous and used to climbing the trees outside. So we also want them little hands and everything to get used to wrapping around branches and their feet, because that's what would naturally happen. And also it helps build the little muscles in the right places for when they go out and they have to start climbing trees with their foster moms. So everywhere along the way we'll start replacing and putting branches in for them. Even when they go over to Disneyland, they'll get more branches that their little hands and feet can get used to curling over and holding onto and jumping on, so they can get used to that when they go out into the enclosure. Well, while everybody else there is practicing climbing and making friends with each other, little Abu is inside the feeding cage, exploring it, having a look how things are, but just look how comfortable. There's no fear or worry about it, which is very, very important. But the biggest thing is to try and get him to spot those little holes and get in and out of them. And this is really the trick. They have to get used to going in and out that hole. That hole is a lot bigger than what it normally is, and funny enough, that could actually almost let a fully grown monkey in. So we have to readjust them once they go out into the enclosure. But we start with something slightly bigger so they get used to it, and slowly they work themselves down to a smaller hole that they can just fit in and out comfortably without feeling stuck or claustrophobic, so they carry on doing it easily. So it's a little bit of a tricky game, but they seem to catch on to it very, very quickly, and it is highly essential for them to know how to climb and in and out of this cage. Otherwise, the process with the foster mom is not going to work at all. Josephine, definitely the little popular one, and really interested in the camera. Don't know whether she thinks it's going to taste nice or not, but yeah, very, very interested in what's going on and probably sees a reflection a little bit in it as well, but she seems to be attracted to it quite a lot. Here we have a little Fudge jumping onto the branch there. So you can just see how a little bit more dexterous he's actually become. Can climb around. They don't seem to be too scared of anything, and he's really doing very, very well. So that's Fudge jumping back and forth onto the feeding cage. Well, as you can all see, the foundation is an extremely busy place. Things don't stop for one moment. There's integrations of everything of all kinds going on, trying to make sure the monkeys are happy in every way we can. So it was nice to see Floki and them getting their new cage and enjoying it and arguing with their new neighbours, which was good. New little baby arrivals, of course, that's going to continue through December. They're still constantly coming in, hopefully not as many as last year. And then some of the older monkeys being integrated, which is always very interesting to see. So I hope you enjoyed this action-packed episode with a lot of stuff going on. And you'll be out there to join us next week. It's also just a reminder, it's our 30th year anniversary, so we are going to be asking people to share some donations that we're trying to bring in, so that we can actually revamp the foundation and rebuild some of the cages that are over 30 years old now that really need some work. So if you can help share and get other people interested, please feel free to do so. And thank you for your help and your support always, and being part of our monkey family.